What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Guys, here was something, an interesting one. Well, bro, not really interesting, but I feel like it's always a good one to see. As you know, I'm African American, and this is what it's like being black in the Netherlands. I like hearing other people's, experiences. I did one kind of like this about with two black females that were in Sweden. So I thought this would be interesting as I seen this one as well, because the Netherlands is another place I do want to go, but yeah, just here, see, check out some experiences, see how she feels about the situation. And I know because I read a lot of y'all comments, even for me and stuff like that. And sometimes it's just one of those things. It's just different. I don't know exactly where she's from, but I know it's just different in different places that you go. I always say different strokes for different folks, and what's a norm over here is not a norm over there. What's a norm over there is not a norm over here. Type of thing. So definitely coming with understanding. And I notice I see a lot more of when it comes to like being black in different countries and stuff. It's mostly females. I haven't seen one with a male. I don't think. I think I did. Matter of fact, I did. I need to check that one out. But this is gonna be interesting. Let's see what she had to say. I don't think it's gonna be no hate or anything, but she's just telling us her experience. Y'all hit that subscribe button, send down those recommendations, and let's jump right into it.
Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on the video. My name's Fee and I post weekly videos about my new life here in the Netherlands from the United States. Now guys, in today's video, I'll be talking about one of the questions, if not the question that I get asked the most by family members, friends, and even subscribers about what it's like being black in the Netherlands. So you guys know how we do it here. Go ahead and get comfortable, get yourself your favorite drink, and we'll get right into it.
Okay. I don't have my favorite drink with me or anything. Living life digital. I like that.
Now, I know some may argue that this question isn't necessary, but to be honest, it's ubiquitous. Frankly speaking, this is a question that I was curious about when we decided to make the move to the Netherlands from the United States, especially without getting too in depth, considering all the issues that the US was facing, considering race. It's something that I couldn't help but wonder.
And that is a fact because we experience a lot, especially being black in the United States. It's a different thing. And I can't say I even experienced the same amount as somebody else, but it could possibly happen, that's why it's like, why would I want to live life being on my toes about, dang, I don't know if I'm going to make it home type thing, or if my kids, of being of color type thing. So she do got a point. She got a point.
So I think having been in the Netherlands for 9 months, my experience as a black person in the Netherlands is a drop in the water compared to a black Dutch national or any black person that's lived in the Netherlands for a longer period of time. So another person's experiences may be totally different from mine. And so these are just generalizations based on my experiences. Now, I remember a month or so after we had moved to the Netherlands, I was just, having one of my regular chats with my sister. And I told her that I'd actually made an interesting observation here in the Netherlands. Now, back in America, when I would go to a store, be it a supermarket or what have you, well, just so it makes more sense, I lived in a predominantly white area back in the US. So, anytime I would go to the stores, I would always have that one kid who would always give an anxious stare. Now, I think that kids are the purest form of innocence. So I'm always in amazement that in the US that prides itself in being a...
Don't get me wrong, kids are innocent, but also we don't know what they're being taught in their home or what they're hearing in their home. Because kids are going to repeat what they hear and see in their home too as well. Like you said, they're innocent. They don't mean no harm, but they're going to think whatever they do is probably okay if nobody gets on to them as well, because they're going to see and do what they, This actually happened to me and my team when we came back from a tournament. And I don't think my team knows, but I know because most of the guys that were with me were mostly black. And little kid was just staring like he never seen black people before type stare. I know what she thought. It just happened to me last weekend.
A melting pot of all different cultures and races, that you have some children who aren't exposed to different races. Which brings me here to the Netherlands. Not once have I been to a store and had a child anxiously stare at me. And I remember telling my sister that as much as that may seem absurd and minuscule, it's an indication of what the rest of the country is like. Now, I know someone in the comment section is going to come at me and tell me that I have these rosy glasses on, and I respect their opinion. You know, I'm not naive to the fact that there are people who are in the Netherlands who don't like black people or people of other races. All I'm saying is that my experiences with them have not been as prevalent as they would have been back home in America. Something else that I'm very passionate about and was worried when we moved to the Netherlands was how my son, in as much as he's biracial, is considered black in America, would be treated by the Dutch kids here in the Netherlands. You know, I had mentioned in one of my previous videos, which a lot of people were surprised about, was how back home in America, we had to be mindful about what playgrounds we went to because, you know, some people just simply didn't want us there.
Dang.
So those were concerns coming into the Netherlands if we would experience the same thing. Truthfully speaking, it got to a point where I always was on edge going to playgrounds back home because it became such an uncomfortable environment. But I cannot begin to state how stress-free the playgrounds here are. I mean, the kids play so well together.
That's real good. I wonder what part. I don't watch. This is my first video from her channel. I wonder where she was from in the U.S. or where she lived at in the U.S. Because that kind of tells it all too. But yeah, I feel like that is the main thing because there was a video that just went viral. And this is not even about color, but it's just about like a little girl was on the slide and kids were trying to come down and the little girl was trying to beat the other little girl up or hit, you know, put her hands on the other little girl just because like she over here in the way holding up the slide and she trying to push everybody back while she just chilling on the slide. No parents in sight type thing. Like that can't be. Like kids want to slide. Like if you're going to do the slide, you can do it 20 times. Just let everybody else go type. But how stress-free the playgrounds here are. I mean, the kids play so well together to the point where I'm now comfortable to let him go to the playground on his own, which is something I would have never done back home. And more so than anything, I'm not worried about something unpleasant being said to him by an adult or even a kid. And in addition to that, and this is something I feel so strongly and passionate about, is that my black son is safe here in the Netherlands and won't be targeted based on his race. You know, it got to a point in America where we're left but no choice to start having these uncomfortable conversations with our boys once they got to a certain age. You know, they had to be mindful about things such as making sure they have a receipt when they leave a store so they're not accused of stealing something, making sure that they don't wear the hoodie up when they're walking at night. Be mindful of what neighborhood you go running in when you're trying to exercise. If you have an encounter with a police officer and things start to get out of hand, make sure you turn on your video camera. And to be honest with you, this is so sad to me. And this is very sad because what she is playing, because these are still some of the things, the conversations my parents, especially my mom, have for us, especially as things when we were in middle school, high school, and stuff like that. Because here in America, here in the States, that's when you kind of more independent. Like our parents let us do a little bit. I mean, we did a little bit more back in the day when I was younger and stuff. That's just how it was. It was a little bit more safer in the U.S. But all this stuff started boiling up. That's why it's more unsafer nowadays, it seems. But she's speaking fast because my mom had the same conversation with me and my brother. You know, hey, if this happened, make sure do this. If this happen, do that. If this happen, be careful out there. Make sure you do this. Make sure, you know. So she's speaking true. I got those same conversations. I got those same talks. Especially being an athlete too, being tall, you know, like I mentioned, always wearing hoodies, shorts, pants and stuff like that, out with friends and stuff. So I've had those talks. I understand. It breaks my heart because these are not things that you should have to tell your kids. And with that heavy stuff all off
to the side. Something else that we were told when we were moving to the Netherlands was that we should stay away from the smaller cities and live in the bigger major cities because the smaller cities were not diverse. And I'm here to tell you that Dordrecht, not being a large city in compared to Amsterdam or Rotterdam, is absolutely diverse. I'm not ever at any one time the only Black person in a space. And in addition to that, I don't get awkwardly stared at. The only thing I wish they had more of here in Dordrecht was hair salons that cater to Black women. Maybe there's some out here that I haven't seen before. If you know any, please let me know in the comments section. But I will tell you,
Hey, she might have to learn. She can definitely make a career now. She can be the first one to do some hair, what I'm saying?
if you know any, please let me know in the comments section. But I will tell you firsthand that we have not experienced any unsavory situations here in the Netherlands. Again, as I said before, I know and I'm aware that people have experienced that and that people who don't like Black people do exist in the country, but I have been lucky enough to not yet deal with it. Anyways, guys, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this short video. Thank you so much for your constant love and support. And until next time, Dewey.
Okay. That was pretty. I feel like definitely got to subscribe so I can check out more of her videos. But yeah, I thought that was pretty good. She was definitely speaking facts. She pretty much, I feel like in her opinion, she just feel like the Netherlands was the best, safest route for her family, her kids, husband. I believe she's married, but that's a good thing. So we got some good love. So, and she, like I said, she's just telling her experience. And most people, you never know. Everybody face different things, different strokes for different folks. But I love the fact that this is definitely relatable for as a mother who's involved, who cares, and who tends to her children type of thing. Because like I said, my mother was the same way. Like, these were conversations we had to have, especially when leaving the house. Now we driving, doing our own thing, high school, middle school, college type thing. Like, these are some talks that we had to have because we start seeing what was happening around the world, not even around, just in the United States, just around and stuff like that. So, but definitely much respect to this woman right here, for definitely giving us her experience and why. So y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Living Life Digital. I made sure I subscribe. Gotta check out more, because that's all I have for this video. Hey, and some of this stuff too, I know some of y'all been telling me in the comments as well, just the different places and stuff. So I feel like this is always needed to give your experience, because most people do wonder, because sometimes you don't want to just go to an unknown place without having the right information about it type thing. So, but that's all I have. Y'all hit that subscribe button and y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.